Brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode of The Black Man's Perspective. Every day is another chance to become better than you were the day before. You may not be where you want to be yet, but every step forward, no matter how small, counts. So get up, dress up, and show up with faith for the fire, because today could be the day that everything changes and shifts in your favor. Black folks, I just want to greet everyone and with positive energy. You know, we've gone through some tough times, and we've gone through some tough times all my life, and we have opportunity by the grace and mercy of our Lord to show up the next day, even after hard days and hard times, and still stand out and shine bright. We have some great examples that we stand on the shoulders of. Each and every one of us, regardless of whether we believe it or understand it fully or not, we are each the hope and dream of the slave that slaved for this country and made it to the great America that it is today. So wherever you're stationed in life, you should be grateful, but you also should be striving for more and be striving to climb higher and strive to set a better examples for our children. The main objective for our success or failure would be our energy, focus, and expense, how we spend our energy. Now, we all have equal opportunities to present our best selves to the world. And for whatever reason, we exercise them to our preferences. You know, each and every one of us has a perspective. So it would be wise for us to exercise that best possible self that we can present to give the world a better view of how great we still are. And I say still because, like I just said, we all stand on the shoulders of people who struggled mightily and gave their lives and lost their lives, and some who just struggled their whole lives in the order for us to have a better lives for ourselves and for our children. And in 2026, we lost some great freedom fighters. And to name a few, I'd just like to just take a few moments to pay respect to Charles Rangel, freedom fighter from out of the 60s. And Adam Clayton Powell, he came up under Adam Clayton Powell. Those of us who are not familiar with Adam Clayton Powell need to Google and see all of the great things that he's done for the advancement of our people. And Charlie Rangel was one of the last members of that power group in Harlem. We lost Hazel Dukes. Some call her as Ma Dukes, a freedom fighter in her own right, for her whole life, for the rights of Black folks and against oppressive forces in America. We lost the Imam Jalil Alamein, also known as H. Rap Brown, a member of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. He was ill and he was being held as a prisoner. He's being held as a political prisoner. At the time of his death, he wasn't given proper medical care and treatment that he should have been afforded. And eventually we lost him. They wasn't trying to keep him around for what he stood for, what he represented, and that's Black excellence and speaking out for yourself and standing up for yourself and for your rights. We lost Joanne Chesimard, Assata Shakur. She was one of the sisters, one of the sheroes of the early 70s who stood up with the Black liberation, Mutulu Shakur and Afeni Shakur, the mother of Tupac Shakur, and they were part of a Black power group that they stood for no nonsense. They stood up for themselves. And in a certain situation, a police officer was killed trying to apprehend them. They broke Assata Shakur out of the prison. And at the time, Cuba was always been a good haven for Black folks struggling in America within the Black Revolution, and as well as through the freedom of Haiti. Cubans were major players, and major help and fighters for the freedom of Haiti. And she was exiled to Cuba in 74, where she lived until she died this year from what I understand is natural causes at 75, I believe she was. I have a few more people I have in mind, but the only one that comes clear to my mind standing out right now is Malcolm Jamal Warner. Everyone knows Theo Huxtable from the Cosby Show. He was a great brother. He's a great brother. Everybody knows Bill Cosby. Some of the reports in the media try to paint Bill Cosby as a terrible person, but I am not one of those who support that negative energy. All I know for sure is what the majority of us know, is that Bill Cosby was instrumental in elevating the mentality and the learning ability of many of our children, myself included. And the Cosby Show was one of the most highly regarded and respectable shows ever televised. And we watched Malcolm grow from a little kid, a young junior high school kid, into a grown man on that show. And in his growth and development in his own right, Malcolm was very much black-minded support of our people. He's very supportive of our people to this last day. And that's became under the tutelage of Bill Cosby, and where he got his start in show business. May he rest in peace and peace and blessing to his family. And while we're in an entertainment genre, we lost the great Roy Ayers, Brooklyn Zone. Brooklyn Stand Up. I rep Brooklyn from forever, born and raised in Brooklyn. And Roy Ayers was one of our greatest geniuses, one of our greatest contributors to the arts. And we lost him. And also the great Roberta Flack. She was If you don't know Roberta Flack, I don't know what to tell you. Roberta Flack, she was just a modern, she was just a wonderful artist, and she was definitely a supporter of all of our people's causes. You know,